Hi, Aries. Thanks for stopping by. I am going to make one more correction here. I hope you're doing well. Today, this is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. It is timeless because we need to remember the energies that we will be drawing through because we remember the past, we plan for the future. We use those energies to live in the now, always for our highest good. Right, for Aries, the next 2 weeks, looking at past 2 weeks, pulling into the now, future 2 weeks, pulling into the now, those energies that are going to be most beneficial to us Aries. I took a second here earlier to go ahead and click on setting in my program here, and so you could actually, sorry, you may have heard the dog just give a wee hack. But yeah, we like to be able to hear the cards. I like to hear the cards when I shuffle, when I look back at the recording. So this is going to be for the previous 2 weeks. What are going to be the energies that are going to be most beneficial or helpful to us to bring forward? Because let's face it, we all get a lot of information that comes into us throughout the weeks, and it can be a little overwhelming if we try to remember the things that are most important. And sometimes the things that we would trivialize may not really be on the top of our list. There might be those more difficult things that we're trying to bury. I know I can put my hand up to that. Yeah, so here we go. Thank you so much. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. So these two guys, they kind of flipped up and right all at once. Alrighty, 9 of Cups. So typically I think the 9 of Cups is something that's viewed as very positive. I feel like that we've been overwhelmed with maybe emotions. And you know, sometimes when people have a smile on their face, like in the traditional card, dude seated, got all those cups. Well seated, well grounded, right? I mean, he's just hanging out, waiting for the next phase or the next wave of feast, right? But I kind of feel like it's almost been overwhelming in the last couple of weeks. Wow, Aries. Sorry. I don't do reverses. It might have been emotionally overwhelming. So, you know, emotions, thoughts, words, some of the things that were delivered to us in the last couple of weeks may have been a little on the cutting side. The cutting, things that may have stung a little bit, may have been uncomfortable at the time, but it was to raise your awareness. And, you know, we feel like it's almost like we wanted to get away, but we couldn't because our wings weren't fully dried based on the information that we got. That's kind of different, you know, I'm just saying. Yeah. 4 of Coins, Pentacles, whatever you want to put it, very earthy. So to me, this raccoon is saying, like, I'm getting, like, paranoia, but it's not really paranoia. It's not, like, full-fledged paranoia. But it's like, dude, I'm watching out. I'm guarding my stuff. You're not taking my stuff. And I think that maybe this is this overwhelming sense of, it's not paranoia per se, but it's a very guarded feeling. Yeah, very much guarded because we've been tender, maybe a little overwhelmed with what's been going on. So right now we feel like we've got things pretty much under control as far as what we've been thinking about and things that people have said to us. And I have the wrong glasses on. I'm not sure what this is on the card, but it has to be there for a purpose. And I don't recall this. It's like a food stain, but it looks like it may have been really painful and we're not really healed from it. Look at that spot. That's not on the original. It's not on the, that wasn't originally there. I don't know where that came from. So you can kind of see that, and it's kind of like, oh, we've lost our prey. It's like we thought we had it, we held on to it, and oh my gosh, he's dropped it. We've dropped it, right? We thought we had things figured out. I mean, it's not like we lost it. It's not like you're going wackadoodle or anything like that. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, definitely. We want to just say, forget it, man. Just forget it. I'm dead. I'm done. I'm over it. Just let it go. See? See, these are, you know, this is so wild. So it's like, yo. It's like all of these are here to kind of tell the story that we were kind of holding on a little bit too tightly, and the expectations were different. I'm not going to say they were better or worse. They were just different. And sometimes when we hang on too tight to expectations, we can lose sight of what we're really going after. And when that happens, we kind of feel like, oh man, that was not a fun gig. But again, swords, thoughts and words. This may be something where you're being taken away from things that no longer serve you. I am going to take a... It's very hot here. I'm in Michigan, so it's very hot, even though it's, going on in the day. So I'm going to take a little sip, so pardon me. More than a sip. I lied. So anyway, yeah. Aries, we are definitely in owie mode. Owie, ouch. What does this have to do with? We'll find out later. So the cards I lay out, I spend a couple of minutes and kind of try and figure all that out. Really appreciate all the input that we're getting. My bad, because I did do this at the beginning, but I don't think I pushed the go button, as I say. Because this information is coming through the original source, the original thought, and the original word. And we get this so we can understand it through the Akash and all of the benevolent energies, entities, and beings in all dimensions to help us with clarity. So I'm sorry I didn't say that earlier. I did say that before I pushed the go button, as I said. Yeah. So let's finish this out. 2 weeks passed, pulling in forward. So this makes a bit of sense, doesn't it? Let's see. All right. Typically I just dump them all out and see what happens, but I said stop and do this one. All right. All right. So this is our means of, and these cards are looking a little on the dark side, but I think the reason that I have to choose this deck was the heaviness of some of the energy. So that's the 8 of Cups. It is definitely a moving on, and it's been challenging. It's like I'm hearing like, I'm really sorry you guys had to go through this, Aries, but this is, you need to move on. And if you're not going to move on, we'll see. We'll see. The next 2 weeks, for our highest good, what needs to happen? It's almost like we need to move on here, y'all. We need to move on. We have some decisions that need to be made. We have to weigh out our choices. We have to figure out what's going to be the most beneficial. And if you think about it, it's not the most beneficial for you. It's not the most beneficial for your neighbor or anybody else. It's not the most beneficial for me. This is a collective. So if you make a really good decision for yourself, that good decision impacts all of us. So it feels like this might be something a little pivotal, more pivotal for some than for others. But this is just definitely something where you're going to be forced, if you do not take the highest route, you're going to figure that out. No choice is the wrong choice, because everybody's, for lack of a better way of putting it, it's like we're all climbing the mountain, but we have different paths. Guess I can put it that way. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Different paths, and different interpretations of things that we're going through right now, Aries, because, a lot of people look at this Ten of Swords as something that's really horrible, but ultimately, when we make the good decision for ourselves, that was a necessary thing, and it's not an evil thing. It's not a necessary evil. I think that's kind of a dumb thing to apply. Sometimes we do like to kind of hang on to things a little bit longer, but Two of Pentacles, pulling in from the Two of Pentacles, what can be the most helpful for us to manage this? Because this is very powerful here. This is very powerful. Aries, you know, you're kind of a dynamic energy to begin with, so let's face it, you need some dynamic, well, you have dynamic choices, but you need some dynamic input from the benevolent energies to help you reach that goal, that whatever that is for your life. We might end up figuring it out here in a second, because this deck is pretty awesome. This is the it's, yeah, we're gonna figure out some very earthy things to keep us grounded. With Aries being so fiery, we need to kind of stay grounded. And I know, boy, I could get into a real thing about the emotions involved with Aries. You don't see it on the surface, but Aries, you are very deep, very profound in your love for life and of your family and everything else. You are not a selfish creature. Yeah, the best thing for us to do, Aries, when we're in this situation is that in the next couple of weeks, you're going to find people that are going to want to kind of pick. I mean, you know, they might get under your skin. Don't let them do it. Don't let them pick on. Don't let them get under your skin. Just really not. And you know what? It's going to be both men and women. It's going to be people you know and maybe you don't know. I used to have somebody that used to tell me, I can't tolerate stupid. Sorry, that's just, yeah, and we're going to, oh boy, wow. So we're going to feel like we've been pared down, and we're going to have a sense of lightness, light as in buoyancy as well. So it's not just, you know, oh, I feel like that's lifted off of my shoulders. I also feel like this is something where there is a buoyancy, that you're being kept afloat. So I have that image of the traditional card where the Fool has just a little hobo sack off his back with the little dog nipping at his heels. Take it whatever way you want, giving a warning or getting him distracted or trying to distract him. But regardless of how you look at it, there's like this buoyancy that you do need to take the plunge and trust in your skills. And taking that plunge is possibly not what you're going to be expecting it to be. Don't know why. Don't know what. Sorry. It's going to come from a different direction. Just like the guy on the cliff with the dog nipping at the heels. I get it. When I get these cards and they're very non-traditional, if I pick something up from it that's non-traditional, I will. But if I immediately go back to the image in my head of a very traditional card, for some reason this might be priming someone else's awareness on something. There's something in this image that this young man is priming someone's memory, and it's from the distant past, and it's gonna be pulled in the future. In the next 2 weeks, there's gonna be a remembrance of something. I've never gotten a message like that before. All right, so yeah. This is very good. This is very good. This is going to be very, very helpful. Oh my goodness. I do have some slots open if you want a personal reading. They are far and few between, but y'all send me an email if you like. I like to hear from people anyway. It's always good fun conversations. Oopsie doodle. That one wanted to stay behind. Okay. Spirits are very do for Aries tonight. Cat's claw, purification, if I could spit that out. There's something in here about youth. And despite your youth, there's been some very prolonged adulting that you've had to do at a fairly early age. And I think that's one of the things here that you're going to need to be letting go of to purify you, is with this in the next couple of weeks. You know, the sooner you can get engaged with that, the better. That's going to be really helpful with purifying some of those things. Even though this is in the future, these are things that you're going to have to purify, that, you know, maybe some of this stagnant but not stagnant. You're aware of it. You might be moving it around within your own little space, but it's still quite within that little, you know, it's like the devil you know, right? It's like the devil you know. Oh dear. All right. Comfrey. And this is bringing, when we're able to kind of do, and I heard amalgamation. Okay, kind of like bringing things in that wouldn't be necessarily thought of, that would be part of you. Maybe there's going to be somebody outside your typical circle. Don't forget to vet people, right? But this comfrey is definitely a finishing factor. So if you feel like once you're through a lot of this stuff, that's what it's going to end up being. It's going to be bringing things to fruition. Nettle. Action. So there's something really cool about nettle, and I don't know if this is stinging nettle, but that was immediately brought into my mind. Sorry, my nose itches. That was immediately brought into mind was the, you know, stinging nettle, and you can make, what is it? Rennet. You can make rennet from stinging nettle. And one of the things rennet does is that, you know, you use it in making cheese. And maybe it's part of that process, because this has like a snake on it. But snakes are not bad creatures. I think with a lot of the Western culture, they've kind of poo-pooed the snake. But snakes are very, they can be very stealth, but they're also hold a lot of symbolism for wisdom and strength. And it's very subtle. It's very subtle strength. And with that whole thing with the rennet, that it's like a coagulation, a bringing together. Again, there's that word, amalgamation. Okay, and this is going to be brought in through wisdom. And it's going to possibly, this is elder, this wisdom is going to come from outside of you. Lion's mane. Balance. Returning to the source of strength. There's like a deep well of, I heard wisdom. Somehow these guys are related. Not sure how, but there you go. So runners of the sun. What can we get for clarity? Because there's a lot of stuff in the last couple of weeks, I think, that we've all had to endure and manage and come to grips with, and however you want to put it. But it's something that we're all trying to figure out which way is up at this point, as far as I'm concerned. You don't know who to believe or what to believe, and it's all about perspective. And I do have a take on that. This is not the appropriate time to bring that up. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what we can see. Thank you from the Akash. All these benevolent beings that turn up, they are known and unknown to you, possibly members of family that have passed, but most of them are not, I have to be honest with you. And they're here to elicit joy. Wow. And this feels like it's something outside of this. So a lot of times when we get dealt a lot of really heavy energy over the previous 2 weeks and upcoming 2 weeks, the foundational aspect to all of this is remembering that we need to remain connected to the joy that we were originally given. This will abate the unease that we might be feeling, the temptation to be suspicious. or overthinking things. That can cause us. We need to remain attached to the joy and not the unease. How we do that is with the appreciation of everything. You get up in the morning, thanks for the breath of life that I have. Thank you for being able to do what my body can still do at this point, you know, because there are a lot of people struggling. Showing appreciation. When we do this, oh my gosh, when we do this, the magician in us turns up. Miracles happen. They will, I'm not going to say they will happen, they are happening now. This is something that we have the ability to bring into our life right now. Wow, this is a lot. I kept saying it's like this. I was like, are you kidding me? Look at all these, look at all this information that Aries gets to have, and it's going to be a challenge. And I think that that's why there's so much here. That the last 2 weeks have been hugely challenging. It's caused all this stress that was, you know, I can't say it wasn't necessary because we managed it quite well, Aries. And we're managing this extremely well in the now. We got a lot of stuff we get to pull forward in our toolbox for you know, balancing things, for managing the stress and strife that other people might be trying to pull in towards us. Determination, stick with it, and all the effort you're making will ultimately pay off. Don't give up or give in. Keep going. So again, this has been kind of a weird couple of weeks. This is what we can pull in to help us moving forward. Overflowing prosperity, full or empty account. It's a full, it's a nurturer, taking care of your business, and this is what's fulfilling. Here's the joy. We're abolishing the unease with this. And ornaments, we're having extra money. We have a mature investment. Something to celebrate is going to happen within the next 2 weeks. So it's kind of like, lighten up, right? And there's something about finishing a work and preparing for retirement. And you might be 20 years old and say, what do I have to do with retirement? But if you look at the definition of what retirement is, it's doing what you want when you want it. It doesn't have anything to do with your age. Keep that in mind. So there is going to be an unknown source of income. And I don't know if it's going to be, excuse me, I don't know if it's going to be something about moonlighting. It's not something you're going to have to go out and search for. It's like, I got to apply for a job because I need extra money. No, that's a sense of lack, and I don't feel that here. There's a great deal of abundance that's going to flow right in at your feet, and you're going to go, what the cannoli is going on, right? So there's a lot of abundance coming in. A lot. All right, we got these guys here. Maybe for a little more insight, we know, and I feel like we know what happened here. We know it. So this is why it feels like today managing it, and this is what we're pulling forward into the now. What's going to help us in the now? All right, this is for Aries. For all those benevolent beings, we're extremely grateful for your input today. It's like there's this huge abundance. It's like everybody's trying to talk at the same time. It's like a party. It's like this party going on, right? Oh, come on, really? They said I missed one. There you go. Thank you so much. All right, whoopsie doodle. This is going to go quick, I hear. If you don't have a soulmate, they're holding the key. If you do have a soulmate, they're holding the key. And it's like they're trying to, it's not like they're trying to gain your trust. It's something that you've given to them and that you need to acknowledge that. And I think you can rest, oh gosh, time for a nap. All right, so it's time for a nap, and try and get that, yeah, time for a nap. There's a little fox there, very cute. But it's time to take a rest. It's time. This is very restful here too. So, and this is moon. This is a moon. This is the moon. So let's kind of pay attention to what's going on in the evening. We just did have that strawberry moon, didn't we? Milk and honey. So abundance, we are abundance. It's not just surrounding us. We're part of it. We're included in that. We're that little elephant in there. Huh? We're that little elephant taking a little milk and honey bath. And that's what we have. Just keep going. Don't stop. Our cup is overflowing. Here it is. It is going to take some wood. Some work, it says chop wood. It is going to take some work. That's for sure. I'm surprised like an 8 of Pentacles didn't come up. It was the 8 of Cups to helping us moving on. So we did chop the wood. We are moving on. And it seems like this is up here. So the yin is the thought, the intellect, the emotion. So we've processed that part and it's integrated already. And we are addressing our unfinished symphony. Wow. That's kind of fun. Aries, this is pretty deep stuff here, man. You must have had a lot going on the last couple of weeks, right? So you are going to find this when it's relevant to you because it is timeless. 2 weeks past, in the now, and 2 weeks forward. It will be relevant to you when you find it, and it will also possibly be helpful to someone you know. Right? All right, Aries, final cards. Thank you so much. 5? Maybe. All right. Alrighty, what do we got here? For Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. It's been a busy couple of weeks. Sorry, I had something stinging in my eye. So this is the talisman, and this is really deep. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm being asked to get the card because there are elements in here with this talisman card. Like the orb she's got her foot. I can't tell what it is. It looks, she's standing on a yin-yang symbol. She's got a squiggly path. And it just leads off into the mist. So it's almost like you're having to trust your intuition. And I think that's a lot of what we're all going through. A lesson truly learned is crystallized and earned wisdom. You have all that you need for the success you seek. That, to me, is the magician. The magician has everything. The fool has everything. These are together brilliant. Look at that. The fool, the magician, and this talisman card. And what's coming apart is deceptive. Because it's what we're viewing as coming apart. What it is, it's coming apart to reveal something. And that's potentially what happened with this Ten of Swords, is something came apart that we weren't expecting. Yeah, and we do have to say goodbye to that. That's a sad embrace. That's the sad embrace. We need to let go of the things that no longer serve us. Yeah, I think the stormy fields are actually in our head. This is the storm fields. And we may have had a checkered past. We may have done things that we regret today, but don't we all? Some more so than others. But it's not what you did, it's how much you hold on to that negative energy. And this is where the heart comes in. This is where that tender injury came from. And it's going to open us up. And when we open up, we have that wide open. Everything's going to bust loose in goodness and in joy. And we're going to realize how much we have within us. Even without taking a step outside of our door, there is so much that we have that's abundance. Okay, that was it. Thank you so much, Aries. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, do please reach out. Otherwise, I will see you on the flip side. Bye.